Hello everybody, it's the Halloween time, and today we're talking about top 5 non-black scary magic cards. Disturbing cards, cards that make you uncomfortable, some terrible things that are happening in those pictures. Let's take a look at them. It's very easy to find some black cards that deal with dark magic, necromancy, blood, death. But when we talk about non-black cards, it can get more interesting. So number 1 today will be Spinal Willing from Red. This is not a card that necessarily makes you highly uncomfortable. To me it's actually probably more funny than scary, and it is quite curious. But if we look at him, it is one of those things that you wouldn't like to touch. You see that it's dangerous, it's probably rather fast. It's very, very alien. There is something that is disturbing about this card. Still, probably it's not really scary, but I cannot think of any other red cards that would make people feel really, really uncomfortable. So that was the red card. Next one is green. And this is a card from the dark. We will see more of these, of course. Green generally doesn't have a lot of things that deal with death. And the dark, of course, was a really special set because it was, well, dark, and also it was supposed to change things a little bit. So it was supposed to shift the color pie in some way and make colors do things that they were not originally supposed to do. And here we can see this really, really scary, insane, lunatic scavenger folk. And this might have been the entry for our Things You Might Not Have Noticed Before series. Because if you understand what this hand is, it actually is not the scavenger folk's hand. It is the hand of some dead man that he probably found somewhere in the graveyard, in the cemetery, and you can see that he just took this ring. Doesn't really make sense in terms of flavor, because he destroys an artifact by sacrificing himself, but, well, it is disturbing enough to me. Reminds me of some classical paintings. Next we have got the artifact, Living Wall. It's one of those things that you can never unsee. I think that by now most of you are aware of what I'm talking about, but you can see what exactly there is in the middle of this picture. So if that is not enough, you can see some terrible eyes, some teeth. All of this stuff is distorted. So it's essentially just all of those living things mashed together. And yes, it is disturbing. It is by Anson Maddox, who is actually well known for Sin Gear Vampire and a lot of other scary and stylish stuff. Next, in white, we have got an incredibly disturbing picture if we look at it. It says all goblins are destroyed. It is also from the dark. And we see that this goblin is very, very poorly destroyed. I mean, he's just completely obliterated, and we see him over there. Quite a terrible picture. They're hounding him like a manor. Really, really cruel. Never seen this card in play, but I think for obvious reasons. And finally, in blue, we have got this also highly disturbing card. So number 1, interesting fact about it is that it was made by Mark Poole. And if you look back at the things that Mark Poole has drawn, you generally think of much more classical, not really dark fantasy. You think about maybe even some comic book style with very high quality, bright colors. But here, this stuff is pretty disturbing, to say the least. And We also see how he is suffering. We see all of those needles that go through him. And yes, I'm not sure whether there is a very strong correlation between this and amnesia. It doesn't seem very magical. It's just pure torture. But it is what it is. So there you go. 5 rather disturbing cards from different colors, and also one artifact. And what can I say? Happy Halloween!